As part of having a podcast, I'm always looking at my analytics to see what topics resonate with you so I can give you more of what you're looking for. I covered this topic as one of the first shows I released, and to this day, the downloads for this topic far surpass any other topic I've covered. And when I started really thinking about it, it made me a little sad, and not because my other topics don't land as well, but because it means that there are so many of you out there that are letting other people get into your heads. And it really affects how you show up as a mom, a wife, a friend, and really in life in general. So we're talking about it again today because it's really important. And I really want to help alleviate that weight of other people's opinion you are holding on your shoulders and to clear out that space that those thoughts are taking up in your head. But before I do that, I want to share that I do have a back to school special for you mamas, 20% off my 1-month coaching package. It's going on now through the end of September. With back to school comes changes in routines and trying to do more things with less time, and it causes us to lose focus on our goals and spend less time taking care of ourselves, our needs, and the things that truly light us up and make us happy. So take advantage of the back to school savings. Spaces are very limited, so grab your spot today. Check out my show notes for those details. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of 3, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. Let's have a heart-to-heart about something I know so many of us struggle with, worrying about what other people think, whether it's the judgmental look from a stranger at the grocery store, the unsolicited parenting advice that for some reason people like to give, or the pressure to be a perfect mom, wife, or even a career woman. It's easy to get caught up in other people's opinion, but what I've learned over the years is that caring too much about what others think can really hold you back from living your best life. When you have a voice in your head that whispers all of those negative things, it really affects how you show up. So let's dive into some practical steps to help you break free from this mindset and embrace a life that's all about you and your beautiful family. First things first, understand why you actually care so much about what other people think. It's human nature to seek approval and acceptance. From a young age, we're conditioned to fit in and be liked. And this need for validation can become so deeply ingrained in us, but recognizing it is the first step to overcoming it. You can acknowledge that wanting to be liked is normal, but it shouldn't control your life. And I know it's a lot easier said than done. As an introvert, this was especially hard for me, and it's really what caused my social anxiety, the fear of walking into a room of people I don't know and not knowing what to say, thinking everyone in that room is looking at me and thinking I don't belong. It's such a terrible feeling, and I'm so glad I grew out of it. And I say grew out of it because it took lots of years of personal and spiritual growth to get where I'm at today, and to be so comfortable in my own skin that I'm unapologetically me. I know I'm kind, I know I'm a good person, and I know I'm not for everyone, and I'm okay with that. And I think that also comes with age. It's like a switch goes off when you hit 40, hopefully earlier if you're lucky, that you just realize that life is way too short to waste time caring what other people think, which is a perfect segue into number 2. Number 2, shift your focus to what really matters. As busy working moms, your time and your energy are so precious. Instead of wasting them on worrying about other people's opinions, focus on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What brings you joy, you fulfillment? Spend your time and energy on those things. When you're clear about what your priorities are, it's a lot easier to let go of other people's judgments, which, if you are not clear on those things, please do yourself and your future self a huge favor and start that journey. This is one of the things I focus on in my 1-month coaching packages, is helping you learn more about what makes you happy, what is truly important to you, and making that a core belief, and that every time you are faced with making a decision, you go through this mental checklist to make sure that whatever you're saying yes to, whatever you're doing, whoever you're hanging out with, aligns with those things. Number 3, practice self-compassion. We are often our biggest critics, and I say it all the time. Give yourself grace. Practicing self-compassion and learning how to be kinder to yourself can really help reduce the impacts that other people's opinions has on you. Remember that it's okay to make mistakes and that you're just doing your best. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. And that's talking about your inner self, but you need to be kind to your outer self too. When you look in that mirror, what do you say to yourself? When you put on that bathing suit and you look in that mirror, are you being kind to yourself? I know I have to constantly catch myself. Our eyes go straight to our imperfections, and then that negative self-talk starts. I make it a point to be really conscious and to flip that script and tell my body that I love it. I love my belly that looks like a deflated balloon because it gave me my beautiful children. I love my legs that are covered in cellulite and now varicose veins because they have allowed me to walk to some amazing places, and without them, I would have never seen them. I watched Kendall Jenner's interview with Jay Shetty, which if you really want some motivation and positivity in your social feeds, do yourself a favor and follow him. He also has a great podcast and a couple of great books out there. I recommend all of it. But in the interview, Kendall shared that her therapist gave her this advice that really works well for her. She keeps an old picture of herself when she was little on her mirror, and she sees that little girl every time she passes that mirror and is reminded that whenever she's being mean to herself or that negative self-talk starts to happen, that she is talking about that little girl, and you would never tell a little girl those things. It's something I haven't tried yet, but if you find that you are really down on yourself, try it out. And side note, if you have little girls, they are watching you. Boys are too, but girls tend to be way more self-conscious, and you do not want them seeing you hating on yourself, especially about your weight. So learn to love yourselves, mama, and teach your babies to love themselves too. Number 4, surround yourself with positive influences. The people you surround yourself with can really influence your mindset and your self-confidence. If you are around negative people, people who don't believe in you and that are constantly criticizing you, then it could seriously bring you down and really build up those self-limiting beliefs. But on the flip side, if you have positive people in your life, they are more likely to encourage you and motivate you and build up your confidence. So start paying attention to the people you surround yourself with. And if you feel that they're bringing you down, then maybe it's time to start distancing yourself from them. I've had to do that a couple of times in my life. It's not easy, but feeling inadequate and having people hold you back on fulfilling your goals is really a lot harder. The more positivity you have around yourself, the less you'll hear those negative voices and the more confidence you'll have to trust your own judgment. Number 5, limit social media use. Social media can really be a double-edged sword. While it's a great way to stay connected, it can also amplify feelings of inadequacy and comparison. If you find yourself constantly comparing yourselves' lives to others or feeling judged, it may be time to take a step back. Try to limit your social media use or unfollow those accounts that make you feel bad about yourself because comparison is the thief of joy. And I know you know this already, but I'm feeling the need to remind you, what you see online is often a highlight reel, not the whole picture. People only show you what they want you to see. The smiling, happy kids on vacation that were screaming and throwing a temper tantrum 2 minutes before that video. 2 minutes before that video, I laughed because in Greece we were having a bad moment, but we had a beautiful scenery behind us. And I joked and said to the kids as we were taking a selfie, pretend you're having a good time, and got a smile out of them and got a great picture. But literally 2 minutes before that picture, everyone was miserable. I didn't actually post that picture on social media, but people do. And they're only showing you that smile when I promise you, all kids are alike. Not every kid is perfect, but we end up comparing ourselves to them because we're like, look how happy their kids are. Oh, I'm sure their kids clean their rooms and eat perfect dinners and never give them a hard time. Kids are kids. Or those pictures where someone takes a selfie at just the right angle with just the right filter. I really love the reels where they show you the picture and how great they look, but then they show you the reality where it's the mom at just the right angle looking amazing, but then she shows you herself at a different angle where she doesn't look so perfect, or the person that looks like they're in this amazing place all by themselves, but then they zoom out and there's utter chaos all around them. It's all about perception versus reality. If you look at my social media feed, it's all people that inspire me. Positive influences that are looking to motivate people, lift them up, or just amazing mama entrepreneurs that are staying true to themselves while growing amazing businesses. That's what I want to see on my feed. So The next time you are on your social media apps and you find yourself scrolling, really be conscious of each post or reel and see how it makes you feel. If while you're looking at it, you start to feel any negative emotion or bad comparison, please do yourself a favor and stop following those people. Number 6, challenge your negative thoughts. When you catch yourself worrying about what others think, challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this really true? Is it possible that I'm exaggerating the situation? Often we make assumptions about what other people think without any real evidence. We let our emotions or whatever is going on with us that day affect our perception of a situation. This is especially true with emails and texts. 2 different people can read the same text and interpret it in different ways. Heck, 5 people can read the same text or email and interpret it in 5 different ways. I see it happen all the time. If you're annoyed with someone and they respond to a text, you may read it as if they're having some attitude with their response because as you're reading it, you're adding your emotions to it. I see this happen all the time at work too. I'll have someone tell me that someone got snippy in an email and they'll show it to me and I read it and I don't see it because I'm impartial. And sometimes I go through the exercise and have them read it out loud to me. And when they read it out loud, they are putting a negative emotion behind the words. But then I say, okay, let me read it to you. And I read it to them without any emotion, just as a factual email. And it can be really eye-opening. By questioning these thoughts, you really can reduce the power anyone has over you. Number 7, focus on your achievements. Take time to celebrate your accomplishments, both big and small. Keep a journal of your success and look back on it whenever you feel doubtful. Or if you're not big on journaling, just carve out a little section in your planner to make some notes each week. My planner has a weekly setup and actually has a section for this week's wins and then a separate section for how I'll improve next week. I don't fill it out every week, but it's definitely something I want to get better at because it's really a great reminder and a confidence booster. There will be some days or weeks when I feel like I got nothing accomplished, but when I stop to really think about it, I got a ton accomplished. I'm just way too hard on myself. And you know what? Sometimes we just have a bad day or a bad week. And the win for the week might just be that we didn't lose our mind. And you know what? That is a huge win sometimes. I'm just coming off of a terrible week at work. And when I say the weekend couldn't come soon enough, I really mean it. If I had to work another day, I might have lost my mind. So the fact that I didn't lose my mind is a major win. But I'm sure there are other things that if you really took the time to think about what you accomplished in the week, you can come up with a bunch and write it down. So focusing on what you achieved can really help boost your self-esteem and remind you of your capabilities, making it so much easier to care less about all the external things. Number 8, embrace imperfection. Perfection is an impossible standard, and striving for it can lead to serious burnout and a lot of dissatisfaction. When I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. I was a perfectionist, kind of borderline OCD, and it's not fun. When you're a perfectionist, you strive for perfection in everything you do, in everything you plan. You expect it from other people, and it's setting yourself up for constant disappointment because nothing is ever perfect. I consider myself a recovering perfectionist, and I did a lot of work to get to this point. I still have some tendencies that creep in there, but what I've learned is that when you let go of expectations, some really beautiful things can come of it. So embrace your imperfections and recognize that they are what make you unique. And perfectionism often comes from a place of fear of judgment. So letting go of the need to be perfect can really help you care less about what other people think. Number 9, and this is a hard one for all of us, learn to say no. One of the hardest things for a lot of us is saying no, but setting up those boundaries is really important for your mental health and your overall well-being. Saying no to the things that don't align with your priorities allows you to say yes to what truly matters. When you stop worrying about disappointing others and start focusing on your own needs, you'll find it a lot easier to let go of others' opinions. I'm in a season of saying no. One of my goals this year was to have my time management course created, which I hope to be launching for the back to school season. And I fell very short of that goal. And after doing a lot of reflecting on why, I realized a large part of that reason was because I said yes to so many things that took time away from me focusing on building my course. So I made a promise to myself that for the rest of this year, I am not saying yes to anything that will interfere with the schedule I set out for myself. And I'm being completely unapologetic about it. This is something I really want for myself. It's something I've already invested so much time and effort into. that I just want to get it out into the world so that I can help so many moms as I can, get control of their schedule, get the work-life balance they deserve, create the time and the space to do all the things that light you up, inspire you to find your purpose and pursue your passion too. And I cannot do that if I say yes to other people, and I will not allow myself to feel guilty about it either. And spoiler alert, there is a module in my course on learning how to say no. So keep an eye out for those updates. I'm hoping to start the wait list for the course sometime in September. And I will be offering discounts for the first few that sign up and get their name on my wait list. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or if you're in my Facebook group, I'll be opening it up there first. So if you're not already in there, go join today. It's work-life balance for working moms. And number 10. Number 10 is really just a reality check. I looked up some statistics to share because we spend so much time worrying about what other people think or might think when in reality, they really aren't thinking about us at all. Or if they are, it might be a quick judgment and then they forget about it. A lot of this worry is all just in our head. Over 90% of the things we worry about never happen. That is a crazy percentage. Think of all of the mental space you are wasting. Western Washington University did a study and found that on average, 70% of us are frequently worried about what other people are thinking about us, about what we're doing, about what we're wearing, how we're acting. And Cornell did a study and found that we overestimate how much other people actually notice any of those things or remember what we did, what we wore, how we acted by up to 50%. So just keep that in mind the next time you find yourself starting to feel self-conscious or anxious or worried about what someone else might think. Be true to you. Learning to stop caring about what other people think is a journey, not a destination. It takes time, practice, and most importantly, patience. But remember, your life is about you and your happiness. You deserve to live it fully and authentically without being weighed down by the judgments of anyone else. So focus on what makes you happy. Surround yourself with supportive people and be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. And on the flip side, practice what I'm preaching. Don't judge other people. You don't know what that person is going through. Be the positive influence in their life. Don't be the negative person that brings them down. And just a side story before I end, I follow a bunch of mom influencers on Instagram because I'm always looking for hacks and ways to do things better, especially around food prep, because this is something I struggle with because I have such picky, pain in the butt eaters. But this mom posted a reel of a really easy lunch to make for her kids. It was a pizza roll-up using a flour tortilla, a cheese stick, Rao's marinara sauce. She rolled it up, put it in the air fryer, and it took all of 10 minutes to make, and then popped them in a glass container so that she had them for the week for school lunches and only had to pull them out. I was like, this is great. I'm totally going to try it. An easy lunch, even easier dinner on busy nights. And then I got into reading the comments, and there was this one mom who just left the nastiest comment, putting her down, asking her how she could feed her kids all this processed food and where are the vegetables. I saw this comment a week ago, and it still gets me worked up when I think about it. First off, that meal wasn't unhealthy. Second, stop the judgment. Maybe I'm super sensitive because my kids are ridiculously picky eaters, and I would be happy with them eating that over buying the crap that they serve in the lunchroom. But for someone to take the time and put that mom on blast for everyone to see when, one, she doesn't know anything about what that mom is dealing with at home. Two, she doesn't know what else the mom is putting in their lunchboxes. That was just one thing. And three, the influencer is just trying to help busy moms out. Let's just stop. Stop with the judgment. Stop putting other people down. Let's just lift each other up. Instead of the judgment, maybe offer a suggestion like, that looks great, but hey, if you switch out that brand of tortilla with this brand, it's actually a lot healthier, or it's organic, or something that isn't so nasty and judgy. I almost want to go back and find that reel and reply back with that suggestion to that judgy mom, which probably one, either doesn't have kids, or two, her kids are little and she has a lot more control over what her kids eat, because another reality check for everyone. Unfortunately, the older your kids get, the less control you have over what they put in and on their bodies. And you can teach them all the things and try to have all the healthy things in your house. But once they have the freedoms to go to Starbucks, 7-Eleven, the mall, they are eating all the bad things. That was such a tangent, but it's obviously been something that hasn't been sitting well with me for over a week. So Hopefully, after saying it now, I can let it go. Love to all the moms out there, even the judgy ones, but I just ask that you take that to heart. If you're one of the ones that kind of find yourself scrolling through social media and feel the need to make that comment, try to make it a positive one. I hope you all take today's episode to heart, and I encourage you to share it with a mom friend. Let's lift each other up. Let's straighten each other's crowns. And if you don't already follow the show, take a second, hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat.